Morning students, today we are going to see adjustment entries. Clear student, we have already seen in the 11th standard, still we are doing a revision. First adjustment entry is a closing stock. Student, we know that all the adjustment entry have a two effect. One will be a debit effect and another will be a credit effect. Every adjustment entry has two effect, debit and credit. First adjustment entry we are going to see of closing stock. If closing stock is given in the adjustment, then as I told you, there will be two effect, debit and credit. So one effect you are going to give asset side. You are going to give asset side of balance sheet. Now you know student, asset side of balance sheet means it is a debit effect. Asset side of the balance sheet means it is a debit effect, and another effect you are going to give on the trading account. Which side? Credit side. One is a debit, so there will be a credit effect. So this is what first adjustment entry, if it is given in the adjustment closing stock, there will be a two effect. One effect you have to give on the asset side of the balance sheet, and second, trading account credit side. Okay student, one more thing in the closing stock. If closing stock is given in the trial balance, then you are going to give only one effect, which will be given on in the balance sheet only. Again I am repeating student, if closing stock is given in the trading account, that time you have to give only one effect. That means you have to give on the asset side of the balance sheet. Clear? One more thing about closing stock students, whenever there are two value given in the question, market value and the book value. Market value and the book value. In this case, whichever value is less, we are going to consider that value. Next, second point, outstanding expense. Again I am repeating students, outstanding expense. Now expense, you know what are the expense? Salary, commission paid, or rent you can take, electricity bill, or you can take wages. These all are the expenses. If these expenses are outstanding, you keep in mind you have to add in that expense. You have to add in that expense. Again I am repeating, expense always have a debit effect. Expense are debit, and if you are going to add as outstanding expense, that will also be debit effect. Clear? So one effect you are going to give on the debit side, that is you are going to add in the expense, and second you have to give in the credit side. That means you have to write on the liability side of balance sheet. It means any expense outstanding is your liability. That is a liability for you. वो आप पे कर्जा है, तो आपको इसके लिए उसको liability side लिखना है. Clear students? So outstanding expense you have to add the expense, and expense always have debit balance, so that is a debit effect, and another you are going to give a credit effect, that is on the liability side. Students, most probably adjustment entries have the effect, like one effect when you are giving in the trading, the second combination will be in the balance sheet. Same way, if you are giving one effect in the profit and loss, the second combination will be in the balance sheet. And P&L appropriation is connected with partners current account. So this is what most probably the combination is. One effect if you are giving the trading, most probably the second effect will come in the balance sheet only. Profit and loss, same way, if you are giving one effect in the profit and loss, the another effect will be in the balance sheet. So these two combinations are there. Profit and loss appropriation, one effect if you are giving, then the another effect will be in the partners current account or capital account. Clear students? So this was the second adjustment entry. Now we are going to see the third adjustment entry, that is a prepaid expense. What do you mean by prepaid expense? This was the outstanding expense students. Outstanding expense means the expense which is not yet paid, still it is outstanding. And the prepaid expense means which is paid in advance, the expense which are paid in advance. So that is an asset for you. The expense which is paid in advance is asset for you. So you are going to write on the asset side. You are going to write on the asset side of balance sheet. and naturally that is which effect? That is a debit effect. Now the credit effect left. So you, as I told, outstanding you have to add. In the same way, if the expense is paid in advance, you have to deduct, means you have to less. Like if salary is 1000 and 200 is paid in advance, so you are going to deduct prepaid expense. So always keep in mind, outstanding is always added in the expense and prepaid is always deduct from the expense. And when you are deducting from the expense, it means it is a credit effect, because expense is a debit, and if you are deducting it, it is a credit. If you are adding, it is a debit effect only. So now this is a credit effect. So you are going to credit side, means you are going to deduct from, you are going to less from the expense. Clear, students? So this is the third one. Now we are going to see the fourth one, that is a receivable income. Student, what do you mean by receivable income? Means income outstanding. Some income is there which is not yet received to you, that is known as a receivable income. Like you can say commission, receivable commission. It means yet the commission is not received. Clear? So again you are going to get a two effect, as I told. One effect you are going to show on the asset side. You are going to write on the asset side of balance sheet. And the second effect, which will be your debit effect, and the second effect you are going to show on the profit and loss only. Here all profit and loss entries are there. This is also profit and loss entries are there. So here also you are going to show on the profit and loss, because any income you are going to show on the credit side of the profit and loss. Clear? But if it is receivable, receivable means one type of outstanding income which is not received. As I told, that any outstanding, whether it is an income or whether it is an expense, you have to add. So in this case also you have to add it. Income outstanding you have to add it, which is your credit effect, because income always have credit side. Suppose this is a profit and loss account. So if commission is, you are going to write on the credit side. This is your income. You are going to write your 1000. Afterwards you are going to add what? Receivable income. Receivable income means income which is yet not received. Suppose 200. So you are going to write outside 1200. So this is a credit side, and if you are adding on the credit side, means this is also credit effect. Clear? So in this way you are going to add it. Again I am repeating, student, receivable income. So income always have credit side. So you have to add on the credit side of the P&L account in the commission, and second effect you are going to give on the asset side of the balance sheet. So 4 we have seen: closing stock, outstanding expense, prepaid expense, receivable income. Now we are going to see the fifth one, that is an income received in advance. Now the income received in advance. You have received the income in advance. Same way like prepaid expense. Prepaid means the expense which is paid in advance. In the same way your income is received in advance. So what you are going to do in this case, when the income is received in advance, you are going to give two effect, as I told. So one, as I told, prepaid expense is deducted. Here also you are going to deduct it. Again I am repeating, here also you are going to deduct it. So you are going to deduct where? From the, in the P&L account you are going to deduct from the income, whatever the income is. Like if commission is there, you are going to deduct from the commission. Now when you are deducting, as I told, that commission income always have a credit balance, and if you are deducting from the credit side, it means it is a debit effect. So when you are going to deduct from the income side of the P&L account, that will be your debit effect. Now you have to give a credit effect. So you are going to write on the asset side of the balance sheet. Clear, student? You are going to write on the asset side of the balance sheet. Sorry, you are going to write on the advance. It is advance. So this is a which effect? Debit effect. Now you are going to give a credit effect. Now, which is the credit side of the balance sheet? Not asset. The credit side of the balance sheet is liability side. Clear, student? Again I am repeating, this is the balance sheet, this is the liability side. So liability side, this is an asset side. See, in all the account, this side is your debit balance, but liability is the credit and asset is your debit. So one effect you have already given on the debit side. Now you have to give on the credit side. That means balance sheet credit side is the liability side. So we have seen the 5 things. Now let us see the other adjustments. That is a depreciation now. The 6th one is depreciation of assets. Clear? Again 2 effects, students. Always always deduct. You have to deduct it. Again I am repeating, asset you have to deduct from the asset. You have to deduct from the asset, whether it is a land, building, machinery, you have to deduct it. And when you are deducting from the asset side, it means it is a credit effect, because asset have a debit balance, and if you are deducting from the debit side, means it is a credit balance. So you have to deduct from the asset. And second, naturally you have to give the debit effect now, the debit side of the P&L account. See here students, suppose this is your P&L account, profit and loss account, and this is your suppose balance sheet. So this is the liability side, this is the asset side, this is actually credit. You no need to write this credit and debit in the balance sheet, student, but only I am explaining this is the credit side and this is the debit side. So asset you are going to write on the asset side only, like land. If land is 50,000, so you have to deduct depreciation from the land, like 5,000, and the outer column you have to write 45,000. And P&L account you have to just write your depreciation of land, that is 5,000. So this is the 2 effect given, 1 effect here and 1 effect here. P&L debit side and balance sheet debit side you have to deduct, means it is a credit effect. So this we are going to show the assets, depreciation of asset. Next is an 7th one, that is a bad debt written off. Bad debt written off. Now student, bad debt written off is what you are going to show. It is a old bad debt which you are going to receive. So that is a bad debt written off, that is a new additional bad debt. So you are going to show on the debit side of P&L account, and you are going to add in old bad debt. This I will show you again. Next is an asset side you are going to write in the balance sheet, which you have to deduct from debtors. Student, all the debtors entry, bad debt entry, bad debt reserve entry we are going to see here. Just see, this is, suppose this is a profit and loss account. So you have to maintain this as a TAT, T-A-A-T. That is, you have to write bad debt of trial balance. Means whatever bad debt is given in the trial balance, that you have to show here. After that, you have to add bad debt of adjustment. If it is given in the adjustment, you add it. The same way this we have added in the old bad debt. Same way you are going to add here. Suppose old bad debt is also 1,000. So now it becomes 2,000. Then you have to deduct here bad debt reserve. Sorry, you have to add here bad debt reserve of adjustment. Again, TAT. Here everything is added. These entries are adjustment. Means adjustment entries are added here. Suppose bad debt reserve is 500. So now it is how much? 2,500. From this 2,500, if old bad debt reserve, old means the bad debt reserve given in the trial balance, you have to deduct that. Suppose 1,000 it is. So you are going to deduct it. So in the outer column, what you are going to write? Now 1,500 as a bad debt reserve. Clear? If this answers comes in negative. Negative means if you have to deduct from here, suppose 3,000. If a bad debt reserve in the trial balance is 3,000, it means you are going to get answer in minus. So that time you have to pass the reverse entry. This side you are going to write bad debt reserve 500. Clear, students? So this is known as an TAT entry. We have already studied in the 11th, but still we are doing the revision of this. We have done many sums. Whole chapter was there for that. And we have also done the final account chapter also. Now how to show in the balance sheet, students? Now balance sheet, as I told, here would be a debtors first. Whatever debtor is, you have to write here 10,000. After that, if additional bad debt is there, you are going to deduct. Here everything is going to be deducted. In the balance sheet, everything should be deducted. Like 1,000, you are going to deduct. Here 9,000. Now bad debt reserve is if 10% of this. So 10% of this you have to find, that is a 900. You have to deduct and you have to write in the outer column. Clear, students? So this is how you are going to pass the entry for bad debt and bad debt reserve of trial balance and adjustment. So now our next point is, so we have covered this all bad debt and bad debt reserve point. In the same way, discount reserve point is also there. Discount reserve point, discount is calculated after this, on this remaining, that is an 8100. So if discount reserve is given like 10% of this, so you are going to calculate from this 10%, and this effect you have to give again in the balance sheet, so in the P&L account. So same way as you are giving the effect of TAT, same way you have to give for the discount reserve also. If discount is there in the question, so you are going to write discount here in the P&L, student, on the P&L side. Let us see here. Same way you are going to show in the profit and loss debit side. You are going to write a discount. Discount, whatever the discount is, you are going to show if it is there in the question. After that, in the same way, if additional discount is there, you are going to add. If it is not there, so you are going to add this. From this, you are going to deduct a discount of trial balance. Same way as a TAT. So here also you are going to follow the same thing as you are doing in the bad debt. Clear, students? So discount reserve on debtor is also clear.